Good morning. Morning maintenance. Gail here from Seattle Coffee Gear, and you're probably wondering why I have a shop vac hose. I'm going to show you how to clean a Rocky grinder. This one is a little more detailed than some of the grinder maintenance, so stay tuned and watch me. First off, if you're only going to want to clean it every now and again with, let's say you're using an oily bean and you want to do just the quick clean, Grindz. I recommend running Grindz through here. And if you're using an oily bean, make it every 2 weeks or so. And if you're not, about once a month, maybe 6 weeks. Take a cap full. And this stuff takes all the, I already dumped the beans out, by the way. They're right here in the bowl. And with this machine, this hopper does not come off, so you physically have to take the machine and dump it. So put this in here, cap full, run it up to about a medium setting, 25 or so, and then we're going to run it out. I'll run it right into the lid. Get down in there, little beans. Then when you get done with this, you know, if you hit the side of this, you get the rest of that out of the chute. When you're done, then you put some beans in, coffee beans, and chase it. That gets the grinds out. So you get the idea there. And then every now and again, I'm going to show you how to take this apart. So what you want to do is take this down to about 0 again. Not that you have to take it to 0, you don't really. Going to shop back out what's left in there. I don't know if you saw, but there was a lot that came out of the chute. That's taking it from inside where the burrs are. Now, this machine uses a flat-bladed screwdriver, and down in here you will find 3 slots, 3 holes, and you'll see if you look down in there, there's screws. And what that's going to do is allow you to take the bean hopper off, and the finger guard comes with it. Don't drop these screws down the grinder. That's just not a good thing. Now, there's your burrs. That's your top burr. Look at, we still got some stuff down in there. The grinder cleaner really works well on the burrs themselves, but it won't get that portion right there. So now we're going to unscrew the top burr. Be careful on the Rocky grinder, this casing in here, as you're going around. It's pretty sharp. You can actually cut yourself. I have done that in the past. So just be careful. Take this off, and there's quite a bit of threads, so the finer the thread like this, the more adjustment you actually have. As you're turning it, it only makes small little moves. Now, that's your top burr right there. You can see it's pretty clean, and that's from running the grinds through. I'm going to vacuum the rest of that stuff out of there just to show you without poking at it or anything. Take a look at that. You can see that the grinder cleaner, the Grindz, that looks pretty darn good. Anything that's left in there, I like the palo brush, the sweep brush. This part's for the countertop, this part's for your grinder. So you want to dislodge, and make sure that you, on this grinder, make sure you get all of the ground coffee out of the threads. That is one part that can, if you have really oily beans and there's ground coffee in those threads, it'll bind up the top burr and you won't be able to get it out or in. Either way, it won't move. Now you can take something and poke all the little areas down in here. Get everything clean. You get the idea. Same thing on this. Get this all clean. There's these 3 slots on this grinder too. Make sure you get those clean. You don't want that stuff getting in the threads. That's important. Whatever you have around the house that'll do the job. A nice, a toothbrush, an old toothbrush. Don't use your current toothbrush. Get an old one and clean out like the threads and things. The bristles being a little bit stiffer for that works really well, I have found. Clean this all up. I'm not going to get too fussy with it just for the sake of the film. Put this back together, and now I'm going to show you how to recalibrate this once you put it back together too. Make sure that you get these threads proper. You don't want to cross thread this, and it's easy to do that. Don't want to get it cross thread, you ruin the threads. It's very expensive to replace this. So we're going to take this down all the way until I can't turn it any longer, and that means the two burrs are touching each other. You're at 0. Oh, and wash this bean hopper. Take it apart and wash it by hand, I would recommend. I wouldn't throw this one in the dishwasher because this isn't a label and it might peel off. It's just a sticky label. So now we're at 0. Now you want to have, after you get it back together, after washing it, I like putting the screws back into the finger guard. Got a little bit of junk in there. Put it back into the 3 slots like it was. Now you want 0 facing forward. Now, if for some reason that this is like this, you can't line up the screws and still have it at 0. So turn this as much as you need to line up the screws. That's what we're looking to do. And then screw this back together. And if you got everything lined up, it should go back together, which it did. And now you're at 0. And the burrs are almost touching one another, not quite. Voila. Now, can't go any further because there's a stop on the bottom of this bean hopper. Makes it so that you can't go below 0 and make the burrs touch, and they'll ruin each other. So that's the morning maintenance on the Rocky grinder. This applies to the doser. Doserless doesn't make any difference. You're now ready to go and use it. Let's just see how she works. Make sure it still works, right? That's the idea. That took a while for anything to come out because now you're refilling the gap between the burrs, and it eats up some of the beans in there. It will remain in there. The next morning, that I would grind out a little bit extra just to get rid of whatever's left between those 2 burrs, so it's not stale for you. So that's your morning maintenance on the Rocky grinder. If you like this video, which I'm going to say I think you probably do, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can see all the series of morning maintenance, and I hope you guys have a good day.